Yo, yo, what's up, man?
Hey, hey, what's going on, brother?
Whew. Just chilling, man. It was a interesting week as always.
Yep. Getting down to the nitty gritty here, man. What 3 weeks left, including this week coming up.
Yeah, man.
We got
Your
some.
game had me on edge of my seat last night, bro.
Yeah, I wasn't even. I was watching the actual game, but I didn't once open the app.
Yeah,
But as I was watching, Isaiah Pacheco just smashed the ground with his fucking feet,
yeah,
and AJ Brown just doing nothing. I thought I'd open it and be like, well, it's over. And I saw it. Man, whew.
yeah, man. The Chiefs held AJ to one catch. Um, it was surprising. I thought you had it in the bag, honestly, but
I
Pacheco
thought,
lost me a bet last night, man.
oh
So
yeah, let's
I,
not
I
talk
took
about
a
bets.
I took a play I took a player prop on him. So the last six games, he's gone under his carries.
Mm-hmm.
This game, they set it at 12 and a half. And it was 6 games in a row he's hit the under. So I took the under. This motherfucker got 12 carries in the first half.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought it was just going to be like, Mahomes throw it for 40 times. I didn't think it was going to be like what it was.
Well, let me ask you this. So I lost a bet because of Kelsey. And but I made my
Was it
bet.
the 100 receiving yards?
I just needed them plus over, I think over 75 and a half.
Yeah,
So, but did you make this bet not knowing the weather situation?
I
Because I
knew the
did.
weather situation. Um,
I didn't.
but I still
I
thought
don't think that would have changed my mind. But for you, I feel like
in
knowing,
hindsight, it seems like a low number,
yeah. Well, so
12 and
I
a half.
blame Brazil because I don't know if you know what's going on in Brazil with Taylor Swift, but apparently they're like holding her hostage in her hotel after her performance,
Oh,
and
wow.
she was supposed to be at the game, and you know what happens when she's at the game? Kelsey goes off, and she couldn't make it to the game because of that. So,
He had an off game,
oh, he had an off game. He had an off game. So,
but shit, good
yep.
game, man. A couple good ones other than you and Brian. Um, Me and Dave went down to the last, like, third or fourth quarter last night.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
His DeAndre Swift just took him over the finish line, got the 4 points that he needed.
Yeah, DeAndre's been looking good, man.
Yeah, he's been looking good. Um, Eli went scored 120 to Vincent's 72. Eli's kind of repeating history again last season.
Yeah, and Vincent is doing the opposite of that.
Yeah, 4 game win streak for Eli.
Wow, wow, big fella likes to come on late, man.
I think it was just 1 game too late, man. If he could 0-7, he just needed to win one of those division games.
Yep, yep, yep. Kyle, those goddamn flamingos, man, they just keep on doing it.
Yep,
They
they
just
keep
keep on
on
doing
being flamingos.
it. Yep.
Took care of business against Ross. Um, Ross has been having this back and forth dilemma between Trevor Lawrence and Sam Howell, and it kind of bit him in the ass this week.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a tough call, though, man. It is a tough call because Sam's been balling, but whenever you invest in the Jags, it must sting a little bit to have to bench him.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Mark, he's been consistent. He's just not his season, man. He's just trolling along here.
3 games
And
left in the season. What Mark has to be going out on, hopefully, he can win one of these bonuses and maybe just play spoiler, like knock someone out of the playoffs. Like,
and and not coming last, because Brian's hanging on with
yeah,
just 2 wins to Mark's one. So I mean, they're basically they should be playing at this point for just to not come in last. They still have something to play for.
yeah, for sure. And I mean, with 3 games left, it's gonna like a loss could hurt a lot of people. So
Yep.
like they can't afford to drop one to Mark, but hopefully he can end the season on a good note.
Yep.
Yeah. Little Matt took care of business against Matt.
Yeah. One of my sources told me that that's why Matt, better Matt, isn't on the podcast tonight, is just because he just couldn't handle it. You know, he just
Yeah.
that was his Super Bowl basically, and he lost it, and you know he's
Yeah.
preparing for the playoffs is what I've been told.
So one thing to discuss of possible controversy is um, the trade has been
Right?
working well for Little Matt.
Who would have thought?
The Brock Purdy for Rashee Rice has not aged well um, for Eli. And I think these were some of the concerns that were brought up, during ceremonies for trade vetoing and accepting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, you say that, but he is on a 4-game winning streak. I don't know if Rashid has been you know a vital part to that
Yeah,
streak, but I haven't
but
really
look,
been.
the juice fell off though because the investment was that Burrow's my guy. Like Brock
Right.
Purdy's expendable, and now it would be nice to have Brock Purdy now that Joe Burrow's out for the season.
Yeah.
So on that note, Eli must not be too happy because I think he had to go do a Derek Carr waiver wire, which hasn't worked well for anyone this year.
I've tried it. Doesn't work. Does not work. Does not.
No, for fantasy or real life,
Yep.
but
Yep.
Matt lost, but he still held his position, so not too bad for Matt or Ross really. Well, all three of us, me, Ross, and Matt, we all lost, but we didn't lose any ground. I think we'll talk
Yeah.
seeding later, but I think based on points, I think Little Matt jumped Ross in the standings. Um, but
Yeah.
we'll have to confirm that.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk seating later. I don't think that's really gonna matter. I think there is a group that is with one that's in right now and a few that are outside looking in. But the way this league has been in the past, anything can happen. And there is one team that does need to play his cards right to make sure he stays where he's at right now in that 6th spot.
So whenever you say it might not matter in these teams at the top, um, so are you saying the chances of someone winning it all is going to be more likely at the top? You don't find like a low playoff seed's going to run the table?
Well, so what I think that there is I think the 6th seed. So basically,
The teams in contention for the 6th seed.
I think the top 5 teams, it's
Yeah,
all pretty much like what and what in a way.
gotcha.
Each team can just have a day. But that 6th seed, I think whoever goes up against the number 1 seed, which is looking right now, which it could change, but right now,
Kyle's
um,
got the 1 seed. He's got a bye, so he doesn't have to worry about anything. Take that
right.
week off. Take that week off, and let someone get knocked out.
Yeah, I just think that 6th seed, because the team in that 6th spot right now is hit or miss, and then all the teams chasing him are
Yeah,
either they're not. Some of them aren't even hit or miss. Some of them are just
yeah. You
just
can you can
on
say
the
it.
long.
Lucky. They're lucky at some point.
Right, right. And then
On
there's
paper, on
team,
paper, they're not nice, but they've been a little lucky. But that's part of the formula.
right. And then there's some teams that are chasing it that are just been unlucky,
Yeah,
that if they could sneak into that 6th spot,
yeah.
that's
Well,
there are
talking that sixth spot, the sixth spot right now is Dave. Dave got a big win over Surge this week, like we already talked about. But he took a big injury to Mark Andrews.
yeah,
So that's kind of the thing I've been saying for Dave is I like that triple threat of Lamar, Andrews, and CMC. So to
yeah.
to lose one of them does not bode well for Dave.
Yeah, and it wasn't just a loss this week to Mark Andrews, but It was also the loss of Deshaun Watson. I think that's going to bring down Amari Cooper a
Yeah,
few pegs, and
ramifications.
yeah. So yeah, Dave's team, he's gonna at this point he's gonna rely on his top three: Lamar, Christian McCaffrey, and at this point DeAndre Swift would probably be his third in his top three.
Yeah,
So
and he's getting the rock. So I mean that running back 1-2 punch, probably the best in the league.
yeah, and
So
and look, I will say this: Lamar, as far as the NFL real football goes, he's playing on at an MVP level. As
mhm.
far as fantasy goes, not so much. So a lot of people might think that this Andrews thing might hurt him. I think it could help him because maybe he starts running a little bit more now. Because honestly, who
Yeah,
were
on
his
that note, yeah, but the issue with that also is that's going to put him at a higher risk for injury, which we know it's happened before. So I don't know how they're going to play it out with Lamar. I actually like his replacement. I like Isaiah Likely.
likely?
Yeah, I mean he's a big body and he's filled in before. I mean Andrews doesn't miss many games, but
Yeah,
even when Andrews plays, like Likely's had good games before, so I think he's going to get some love, 5 to 6 targets a game, and he's
yeah,
going to be a red zone guy. So,
yep, yep, yep. I agree.
but other than that, moving down, uh, Al jumped Vincent to number 7 based on points. He's 5-6. I think he's won 2 out of the last 3. Kind of got himself back in the mix. Um,
Hmm.
where's your head at with Al's team currently and chances to maybe jump Dave?
I mean, Al's got who, man, could be like in the top five of fantasy MVP, CJ Stroud, man. If anything, I mean, like,
Yeah,
just definitely rookie of the year. He's CJ's been doing really well for him. Cortland Sutton just seems to score every week.
dude, I would even second that. CJ Stroud, like to also say Gus Edwards, man. Gus Edwards has
Yep.
been like I think
Yep.
Al got him. And we talked about draft picks last week. But that Gus Edwards pick is I think it was the last pick of the draft, like one of the last rounds of the draft. So that's been working for Al, just maintaining. But
Yep. And he stuck with him. He stayed in the Flames with him, and it's been paying
yeah,
off for him.
and I say
Um,
maintaining just because it's been so like hit or miss with Derrick Henry and Pollard. Like
yeah.
he really hasn't had that game where they both went off,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. And that's the thing that Henry's like he's had a sneaky, you know, pretty good year, but like he hasn't had that 200-yard 3 touchdown game that he seems to always has like twice a year.
Yeah. I'm actually it's kind of crazy that he is where he is, because his points for are just
Low.
they're not great, and his points against the that's not too low. So it's almost like I think a lot of that was the beginning of the season. He was before Jefferson went down.
Yeah.
Obviously that hurt
Well,
him.
all was good. Yeah. I mean, he was 3-0 and then it
Yeah,
just all fell apart, in
yeah,
1 week.
yeah. Now I think he's just been getting lucky. I don't know if it's been his matchups or what, but overall,
I mean, Alice seems to find success most times. It's a down year for sure, but
yeah,
I mean, he's put up a fight to even be in the place that he's in where he was at is
yeah,
pretty impressive. So, um, yeah, he's 7 right now. He's on the outside looking in, but Dave's got to be on alert right now. Because
yeah, for sure, for sure.
and
For
then and then we got Vincent. Uh, Vincent lost pretty bad to Eli. Just
Yeah,
struggling to score points, man.
he's on a 3-game losing streak.
He lost Michael Thomas.
Yeah,
Um, Aaron Jones, I think he lost him. I think he
yeah,
lost him for at least a few weeks,
yeah, yeah. It's not looking good for Aaron.
which means it's not looking good for Vincent, man. Because after that, you got to go double. You got to go Kareem Hunt, McKinnon, and then you got to play Shaheed. I
Yeah,
mean,
Debo's been having a pretty down year too. So I know that was a high pick for him, and he's definitely not been having a Debo. He started off hot, but and I
yeah,
think he started off pretty hot, but since then it's been hit or miss with Debo. So
yeah. I mean, Gabe Davis gave him 0 this week. It's always tough.
yeah, yeah. I'm I'm always fuck Gabe Davis. I'll never drive him. That's
Yeah.
that's that's what you get with Gabe.
I mean, 20 and 15 from Mahomes and Kelsey. Um,
It was a
that's,
rainy game. It was a rainy game. Kelsey had a really off. He had a fumble. He had some drop
yeah,
passes. Mahomes could have had a way better game if Marcus Valdez Scantling wasn't who he is and dropped a short touchdown, a bomb touchdown.
yeah. That was
I think it would have won him the game, but it maybe in points, it would have helped him in points,
yeah.
you know. So, you got to
He's
look into that
definitely
as well.
he definitely took a hit on points.
Yeah.
Um, and then after that, I think you slide in next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're the next team up. With Eli like on your tail right now, but I think between you and Eli, y'all are the next up. We're down to 10 teams. Mark and Brian got eliminated this week,
Yeah.
so
I
it's a
will
10,
say that
10 team race.
me
And
and me and Vincent do believe we do play each other this week. So that could be a
it's a big one.
pretty important game.
A win puts you ahead of him on tiebreaker because you have more points. You'll move
Yeah.
to 5 and 7, so you'll jump. Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
huge. That's
Out of everybody outside of the top five, I have more points than
yeah,
him. So, if I can somehow scratch and claw and get a little lucky and get a couple of these guys ahead of me to get some losses, there's always a chance. But you
yeah.
know, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, one thing you got going for you is the team right behind you on points. Eli, he lost Joe Burrow for the rest of the year. He doesn't have anyone else but Derek Carr, so he's looking like he's going to roll with him next week.
He
If
definitely
Derek
he,
Carr,
def-
if Derek
he
Carr even
definitely
plays, I mean, I don't even know.
he definitely does not have Brock Purdy.
Nope, he does not have Brock Purdy. Um, looks like AJ Dillon's going to have to be the guy, which he hasn't been.
I will say
So
Jalen Warren looked pretty good in his first start last week. So that could help him out. But
Christian Watson's been a bust.
yeah, Tank
Tank
Dell's
Dell's been,
Tank Dell's been looking pretty good.
yeah, Tank
Jalen
almost, yeah, he almost took home the bonus this week. If it wasn't
Yep.
for a few players.
Yeah,
Um,
Waddle's been having an up and down season, but he's got probably the toughest defense to play against in the Jets this week.
yep.
I know what's his name is probably going to go cover Tyreek, but I mean that defense overall has just been pretty incredible.
So,
So we'll see.
yep. Well, that's pretty much it. The roundup on where we're at. So just to recap, um,
I
where
don't
is
think
it?
anything's moves. I think last time we were on the podcast, we were talking about playoff seeding, and we kind of said that the
There was
top
just that one
teams.
swap. Yeah, same 6 teams. There was one swap. So
Well,
Kyle's,
as far as the standings, but what I was saying is that the just the top six teams, I thought were just going to stay in any position, just stay in that top six, and so far they are still in that top six.
for sure. Kyle's the locked in at the number 1 overall seed with the bye. Little Matt jumped Ross, so he's now 4th. Ross is 5th. Um, Matt stayed at 3rd, and Dave stayed at 6th. And then I'm 2nd with the bye.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, we got
I
3
don't know,
weeks.
man. I don't know if your theory. I think your theory is gonna collapse. About. I don't know if it's gonna be this 6th. I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if it's not this 6th.
I wouldn't be shocked, but I think the 5 is going to stay the 5.
The
Actually,
five's going to stay the five.
I think that 6 spot is somewhat up for grabs. I think if Dave can pull out, one more win, um, it might be his. Um, but
Do we still think 7 wins could possibly get you in? Like, is the magic number changed, or do you think a 7-17 could still get in?
I think 7-17 gets it.
Okay, I think so too. I think 7-7 is still in play.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just because, like I said, from if you look from 6 to 9,
It's one
and
game. Everyone's off by one game.
yeah,
Well,
and
no,
there,
Dave's 6-5, so he's got a 2-game lead on you and Eli.
but the points too.
The
You know,
points.
if there's a tie, if there's a 3-way tie, there's a 4-way tie, I'm in. You
Yep.
know, if I'm out and there's a 3-way tie,
Yeah.
out.
Yep.
Well, actually, Dave would be, but I don't know, man. It's hard to say. It's
So if our math is
good.
correct, though, if how many games does Dave need to clinch?
I
Two,
think if he wins one, he's in.
one.
I just think that if he wins one game,
That means he's going to hold. That means he'll hold on points. That means if he wins one game, he's going to go 7-7.
I think it
I
has a
think
lot to do with what Al does.
no. Dave needs to win 2 out of 3.
I really needed Al to lose one of these last 2 weeks. It's really pissing me off, but
Yeah, I came up short, man. I should have knocked off Dave. Came up short. The Cooper Cup injury in the second quarter hurt me.
yeah, yeah.
I still put up a decent number, but that was frustrating. It hasn't really like
It's been a frustrating season, man. There's been a lot of injuries, to quarterbacks. It's been a very strange year this year. I'll have to say it's
yeah,
always strange, but this year in particular just seems like it's just been different.
yeah,
I think these guys aren't practicing as much. They're doing these walkthroughs. They're doing these, and they call it player safety, but in reality, if you look at it, it's hurting the players because they're not getting hit throughout the week. They're not going through anything rigorous or anything, and it's like they get in these games, and the slightest touch can just
yeah,
IR into career. It's like I feel like the NFL needs to look at this and realize that maybe bumping each other a little bit more throughout the week and not giving these guys off days and stuff like that. It's kind of really hurting the league, man. It really
yeah.
is. I mean,
But it's
yeah.
tough to go back, Like these are, it's just tough to roll it back.
Yeah, because they're making money now.
Yeah,
I mean, at the end of the day, they're making money, and they're as long as they can play, they're going to make money. So, yeah,
yeah.
I guess.
So other than that, just some things of note. Like we said, Kyle, first team to clinch a playoff spot, and Ross took home the money with Calvin Ridley this week. 7 receptions, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it was close. It was close.
It's close. Tyreek almost got it, and like we said, Tank Dell was up there. So that was
What
a good
was it?
game.
What was it?
Receiver,
No, but what was the what won it? What did Calvin get?
31.1.
Okay. Yeah. Devontae was even close. Devontae got no, he wasn't. Never mind.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill had 30.6. So
Okay. That was it.
that was the closest one.
Yeah.
So you and I, we still haven't won anything in this league.
Oh,
It's frustrating.
yeah. Yep.
At minimum, I would like to win $20 this year. Just for
But
participating.
at minimum, I would like to just make the playoffs at this point. So you got something to root for, pal.
True, true. You can keep the $20. I'd rather make the playoffs. You're right.
Yeah, I'll take the $20 at this point, honestly.
Well, we still got three left, man. And some fun ones. It's like we're going back to highest scoring team, largest margin of victory. I think highest scoring player. So
Okay. Well, we'll see.
we'll see, man.
We'll see.
Um, for bonus, man, just bonus talk looking into the future. Do you like any other bonus? Like, what are some other things that we can reward just to like switch it up?
We did highest running back, right? Highest tight end, highest receiver, highest quarterback.
Yeah, all positions.
Um, maybe we did highest team. We did what is it? What was it? Like overall, like margin of victory.
Hmm. We did
Uh,
that.
yeah.
I think
I don't know.
we've covered a lot of it. I mean,
Maybe we can help some of these teams like me and just, the least amount of points gets $20, I might have won that twice actually. So maybe to reward some of us lesser folk and not, you know,
yeah,
repeat, but maybe not.
we'll
you
see,
know,
man.
all right, all right. No, we can't do that. I was gonna say maybe some sort of a streak thing, but that
I
wouldn't
was
make sense.
thinking this, bro. What if for week one, since we're rewarding the draft, right? Week one, it's like it should be based off the draft. That's why I set highest scoring team
Okay.
because I felt like that's what we should reward week one. If you had a good
Right.
draft, you scored the most points. Good job. What if for week one, there's also a bonus, but it's done in best ball format?
Okay.
So the team with the highest best ball team wins the bonus that week.
Okay.
So that
And
means you're counting points from your bench. Like if your bench quarterback scores higher than your starting quarterback, that's your lineup.
uh,
It's
so instead of highest scoring team, it would just be best ball rules.
just for week one.
Right, right. Just for week one.
Yeah, I mean, and it could be like a side one. Like week one, it could be best ball and highest scoring team. Like I mean, whatever. But I was just thinking about like doing a best ball bonus week one, and that would be fun.
I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Um, Trying to think of something else. Thinking maybe something for like the last week. Like you've been through a whole season, ups and downs, injuries, um, waiver pickups.
What if we reward best record? It's like a culmination of all the weeks.
Like last game.
Yeah, week 14's bonus goes to the team with the best record.
Okay. Okay.
Because, I mean, it's just rewarding the regular season.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah.
here's 20 bucks for having the best record.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Something to talk about.
I mean, we could just
I mean,
incentivize everything. We could incentivize like division winners
yeah.
if we want to just increase like bonuses for like potential ways to, win 20
And
bucks.
right.
I think it keeps the league happy,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Um,
I feel like the
yeah.
more ways that we can reward stuff, the better.
Yeah. I mean, I think you did a great job, you know, first time doing it, with the system we've laid out that you laid out. Um,
Yeah, it's worked
I think
out,
it's been
man.
great. I think it's been great. We have repeated, so maybe we can sit down and kind of figure out ways to instead of repeating, as the season goes, figure out some other ways to incorporate bonuses which haven't been won before,
Yeah.
which I get it was the first time doing it, it's difficult, but maybe in this off season we could sit down and try to figure out ways for these last, I guess, 6 or so weeks to, you know,
Hmm.
have different rewards maybe. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, because do you
I
think,
was also trying to think of ways to reward. I pitched something in the off season. It didn't pass, but a format where we reward the consolation bracket as well,
Okay.
just so
Yeah,
that everyone's fighting for something up until the end.
right. Like even in the playoffs.
Exactly, because for them,
We can
for
do that. That's just got to be, you got to put up more money, maybe an extra 20, maybe an extra $10 a person, and whoever wins the consolation bracket goes away with that, what would that be? 120.
yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't mind that. Feel like I'd have a pretty damn good chance of winning that this year. you know, you all want to incorporate that now? I'm down.
I also had like a pretty radical idea, bro.
Okay.
Kind of Premier League formatting. So you know how there's been like people that have approached to join the league.
Hmm.
What if there's a Premier League and a league outside of us that's connected to us?
Yeah, you're losing me, man. You're losing me.
So, all right, so we have our league,
Right.
and that's the Premier League, and there's a league underneath us with 12 people in it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Listening.
And then we format our league with relegation, and we add that component to where if you finish 12th, you get relegated to the other league, and then we promote someone from the bottom league into the Premier League.
Do we know that many people
I think we do. I think we do.
To have another league
Yeah, I can think of like 4 or 5 top of my head.
that will play?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's just gonna sting though. You finish last in our league. Next season you're gonna be in the bottom league.
That's not gonna. I mean, look, that's not gonna ever affect me. I might not make the playoffs this year, but I would never finish last, ever, ever. So, I mean, yeah, I'm all for it, dude. I'm all for the craziness.
I think it'd
for
be cool. I mean, yeah, that's the one thing that comes into effect. 12 people that we can count on and 12 people that will play.
Or what if we just have somebody on standby every year? Every year,
Okay.
right? Let's say we have 3 people on standby every year. Okay. And if you want to talk about relegation, here we go. Let's say we have 3 people every year that are on standby. And the bottom 3 teams that finish the season, they get relegated. And those 3 guys come in. Now how to get back in it? Like how do you that
The
I
thing
don't
is, the thought of losing 3 of our core 12, I don't like that idea. If we're gonna lose someone, it's just one person.
Well, let's just have one person on standby. That way you don't have because like I said, I don't know how we would figure the 3 people fighting. Like how would you determine them getting back? So let's just have one team on standby every year, and whoever finishes last is just out for a year. And that
It's
player
something
on
to think
standby,
about. I mean,
that
I
player
think
on
there's different.
standby.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think
there's
I
different
actually
scenarios
know.
that can play out.
I know some guys that actually do that. That the whoever comes in last, they're out, and then there's always one team, that's always been in the league, always been in the league. So we'd have to find somebody that wants to be in, who wouldn't be in this year.
It's a big proposal, man. I don't know how the general consensus of the league would feel about it. I don't know if
Hey
the
man,
risk
look,
of possibly getting kicked out is too much. I don't know. But we can propose it. I like the idea. I like the concept of.
I think it would be easier for one team, just one team, rather than a whole another league. Because then we'd have to
But
manage
the whole other league is just one. Whoever wins it, like you have to win it all.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's having to manage a whole other league that none of us are even involved in. See what I mean? Rather than there just being one team just out there, just waiting, just chomping at the bit to get in. I feel like it would be easier
and it's tough. Like the whole one team thing, now I'm thinking of I don't know, something that I
We don't
kind of
have a
don't like
look. We
about
don't
it.
have a toilet bowl award. We don't have a last place. I feel like that would be like
My concern now is, say you come in 12th, you get relegated, and then you don't win that league for like the next 4 years. Then you know, like you're in that league for the next 4 years, and I don't know if I like that.
yeah,
I'm
that's
just
what
trying to
I'm
put
saying.
myself in that position. Like,
But that's what I'm saying. Let's not have a whole league. Let's just have one team that's just ready to get back in. And
yeah,
if you lose, look, you're just out. You suck. You ain't it. You know, try
but
better,
then
do
okay,
better.
but then what is the re-entry? How do you get?
It's just the re-entry is just because it's only one team that team, whoever comes in last the next season, they're out, and that one team is back in. It's just easier. It's
So
just one team
the only penalty is
coming in last,
sitting out one season.
sitting out a season. I mean, that's a pretty big penalty in my opinion.
That's pretty big. But I like the re-entry phase. I like that you're guaranteed a spot in next year's league.
Right. You're already in.
I like that. I
You
like
just have
that.
to sit out once. You have to sit out once.
So
Think
I
about it.
guess I mean the most important thing in that is finding number 13.
Correct. And that's easy. And to me, it's easier to find number 13 than another 12 fucking people. To that, you have to monitor and make sure that league is
Yeah.
going by our rules. And I mean, that's just you're
It's a lot of
talking.
work, but I mean it's
Yeah.
still I mean, we'll see. We'll see what
I think it would just mean more. I think it would just mean more because here, look, think about it like this. Like you just said, if you get relegated and you go into this other league that isn't our league, which is the best league that has ever been created ever, right? So you're just in this other stupid ass fucking league,
yeah.
and you're in it for the first year. You don't win. You're in it for a second year.
Yeah.
What are the chances of you being like, all right, I'm still gonna try.
Yeah,
Like what if
it's
my
not gonna
luck
be the
and you
same.
never win? I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
it's
like,
not gonna be the
I'm
same.
out.
Yeah.
I'm out. So I just think it would be a lot easier for us to find a 13th
Yeah,
team.
I think so too. I think so too.
And like I said, you don't have the benefit of being like, well, I'm not of this league. At least I can go into this other league. Like, no, it's like you're playing for something right now. Like you do not want to get out of this league, right? You're gonna do everything you can from week 1 to week 14 to
Yeah.
make it out of
Yep.
that 12th spot. I don't
Yeah,
know.
man. I mean,
I
some
mean, that's a
interesting.
toilet bowl because we've been trying to figure out like, oh, the loser, like
Yeah, it's
that,
just
that's a pretty big stipulation right there.
yeah, I mean, you definitely have to play till the very last week, and it adds the extra dynamic to where it might come down to that last week. So it's good for ratings.
What's great about this season is that we don't even need that because everybody does play. Mark's
Yeah,
still
that
trying.
you're right.
I know the bodegas over there still trying. I know Brian was still
Yeah,
trying.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I agree. That's
it
for
sucks
sure.
that y'all are just shit, but
Yeah.
at least y'all are trying. Pat on the back, man. Y'all doing it, man, for the lead.
I mean, the number one rule at the end of the day is set your lineup. And so if everyone's setting their lineups, I mean, it's good for the league as a whole.
Yeah,
You don't want to
exactly.
play no one that has
I mean,
two
I would,
people on bye on their starting lineup. Like it's
I
just
would
it's
love
been
for the
annoying. Like I've had to deal with that in the past. Like
look. I would love
it's
for
happened before.
I would love for these next 3 weeks for whoever I was playing didn't set a lineup. I would love it. That would be fucking tight, But it's also
But the ethical thing to do?
yeah.
The
And
ethical thing to
look,
do,
everybody knows I'm all about ethics, man.
I
So
think it has to be brought to that owner's attention because
it will be. If there's ever a week, let me just put this out there. I'm not in any political position of power, but I'm gonna say this right now. If I catch anybody not setting their lineup any week,
Mhm.
I know how to get people on my side, and you're out, pal. All right,
Yeah,
so
man.
don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't.
that's a big no-no.
Yeah,
Um, So thank God that we haven't had to deal with that. Like you said, it's
I
been
don't
really
think that
good.
will.
Yeah.
Man, Vincent only has whew, how is Vincent where he's at? My. Just looking at the points right now, and it's just
It hasn't been good, man. 3-game losing streak. It's not enough.
there's always teams that um Dave out that you know
Mhm.
have less points for than points against. And you look at everybody, and there is one team that has a lot of actually the least points against,
Okay.
and he's in first place, Kyle Bamford. But you can't blame him for that because he's got the most points for.
Yeah.
So, I look at my team and I have the second most points against, and I don't have more points for. So it's just Kyle. Look, basically at the end of the day, I'm just saying Kyle has had a very impressive season. It's he hasn't looked back once.
Nope.
Yeah, and good for him, man. Good for him. He had a rough year last year, and good for him, man.
It
Good
is
for him.
something that plays out organically. That is another, I guess you can say, part of the luck in fantasy is the the schedule.
Yeah.
Like you don't fight, you can't fight the schedule. The schedule is what it is, and like there's no way of predicting how it's going to turn out. So it's just, I think sometimes when the points for and against are kind of off balance like that, it just has to do with the schedule and like the luck factor. You just
Yep.
you're catching people's good weeks, best weeks, and sometimes it just plays out like that.
Yep.
Not saying that Kyle's had a weak schedule. Like Kyle's won 9 games, and like really any week, like any team can win. Like it's pretty balanced, like competitively. Like so, Kyle's the luck of the schedule has gone in his favor as well.
Yep. I mean, I'm like I said, he's got the most points for. He's got the least points against, but even if his points against were 200 higher, he'd still have like 200 more points, like
Yeah, it's solid.
separating his points for him. Like he's just been killing it, man.
It's killing it,
He's
man.
been killing
And we talked about it last week on our draft recap. His core set of guys, he had a good draft. You just gotta.
it.
That's this is why the draft is so important, and I guess certain strategies and uh, I don't know instinct. You pick the right guys, and Kyle hit on everything.
Yep, he sure did. He sure fucking did. Well, good luck being in first place going into the playoffs, man. It always works out for everybody.
A
Not.
lot of it's a lot of pressure, um, but he hasn't cracked yet. So
No,
it'll be
he
nice
sure
to get
has.
a week off. Uh, I'll say it's pretty safe. I think Kyle's going to end up with one of the two buys,
Yeah,
uh, just
absolutely.
because he's got a 2-game lead on the division. I think it's going to happen for him. So yeah, I think Kyle's secured a place in the final four.
Yep. Yep. We'll see how these last 3 weeks go, man. We'll see. It's gonna be a lot can happen. A lot can happen. You never
Mm-hmm.
know. You never know.
So
Man.
one thing that's going to play out also right now is the top 3 teams, Kyle, Serge, and Matt. One side of the bracket is going to end up with one of those teams. So if Serge and Matt finish second, whoever finishes third is going to be on the same side of the bracket as them. That's another good thing for Kyle is is that he's got a slightly easier path in that game to the championship. Um, just because Serge and Matt, as it stands, are going to have to be on the same side.
Yeah.
But that's no discredit to, I mean, on the other side right now with Little Matt and Ross, like Little Matt and Ross can put up big numbers too.
I was always on board, and I think I presented this a year or two ago.
Hmm.
that we should stick with the same divisions just
Yeah.
to make division rivals and whatnot. But I mean, if you look at history, man, at least the last this year, last year, the West is significantly better. And I think that's something I might propose, which I was against it.
A
But
realignment.
this league is forever. You know what I mean? So if we realign it for another 5 years with different divisions, you can still build your rivals. But I mean, I think at some point we have to look at it and see that um, you know,
Yeah.
it might need to change a little bit.
It would be interesting. I mean, maybe we set it in paper, like every 2 years we do a realignment. Every 4 years we do a realignment. So that like it's something that we like look forward to.
I'd
And
say
like
let's meet in the middle every 3 years. Every 3 years do an align,
a
realign.
realignment. Yeah. I like it. I think it
Because
keeps things like fresh,
yeah, I'm
switches it
just
up.
looking at years past and this year, it's the same old story, man. It's the same old story. The West is just better,
Yeah.
you know.
As a whole, just to defend the East a little bit though, Vincent has won the championship the last 2 years from the East.
Well,
Uh,
easier path, Patriots, come on. Think about
maybe.
it,
Yeah.
you
But
know, easier
still,
path.
a championship and a co-championship is still impressive. So we'll see though. We'll see if maybe Kyle's that team this year out of the East that can get to the finals. But um, as a whole, I agree with you. I think the West from top to bottom is better.
And we've had some teams from the West that are on some down years, So I don't know. I'm just saying it's we got a lot of things to vote for in this off season.
Yep.
Always got to keep it fresh, always got to keep it spicy. And change is good. Change is good. It's not
Yeah,
good
man.
to stay in your ways.
All right, man. Let's wrap this thing up. Let's do a quick walkthrough through this week's games.
Okay.
So the first one on the slate, we got a big one. We got Kyle going up against Surge in a rematch. Kyle won this first matchup. What are your thoughts about this rematch with lots of implications at the top of the league for seeding purposes?
So we're talking Surge and Kyle. Let's see here. We got Kyle's coming in at the slight favorite.
Yep.
Let me get to this matchup here. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I apologize. I did not know that this was on here. All right. So we have Kyle with Josh Allen going against Philly at Philly. Philly's defense hasn't been all that impressive.
No.
But the Bills' offense hasn't been that impressive. And it's vice versa. But Jonathan Taylor coming off the bye against Tampa Bay. We got Javonte with a tough matchup against Cleveland. CD with a great matchup against Washington. Keenan has just been doing. I mean, Baltimore's a tough matchup, but Keenan's just been lights out. And Njoku, he's been having a good season. DJ Moore going against Minnesota, which Minnesota's defense has been stepping it up, and it's at Minnesota. Mm-hmm. So that could be a wild card. Chris Godwin against Indy, whatever. A chain, I don't think he's playing this week, so we're gonna have to see what he pivots to for his last flex.
Yeah, I think they're gonna protect them as well.
Yeah.
A couple good matchups on Kyle's side for sure.
Yeah, then we got Justin at home against Baltimore. Herbert, tough matchup Sunday night though.
This has to be it though. Like I feel like they're gonna come out.
They have to.
If they lose, I think the coach is fired, man.
Yeah, he was actually. I know they already had a coach fired, but if I had to put my money, I would have said that
Staley.
yeah, he would have been the first coach fired.
Yeah.
Montgomery, since he's come back, he's been awesome. Divisional matchup against Green Bay on Thanksgiving. I can see David having a great week. Singletary's been doing awesome.
Hmm.
Cooper Cup, if he
We'll
comes back,
see. We'll see.
you can't sit him if he comes back. If he's playing against Arizona, you start him.
Yep.
Sketchy, but you have to. Evans off the bye against Indy, good matchup. Kittle's been killing it. Diggs, I think, has a big bounce back game. Josh Jacobs, tough against Kansas City, very
Yeah.
tough, but we'll see. And Eckler looked like he was running in mud last week, and he's going against Baltimore. That might be tough. Sorry to say, I give the slight advantage to Kyle in this
Yeah.
matchup.
So the interesting thing on this matchup is the cross stacks that could have an effect. So him having Josh Allen and I having Diggs,
Yep.
that's interesting. And then me having Herbert and him having Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna cancel those four players out, let's say they have an equal game. I don't know.
I'd give the slight advantage to Kyle just because of CD going against Washington, honestly.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a big one. The big
And we have to see what happens with Cooper Cup, because if
yeah.
Cooper Cup doesn't play, I mean, you're looking at going with Jerry Judy against Cleveland, which isn't great.
So I think the X factor in this, because of the situation, is Justin Herbert. The path for Surge to win is Justin Herbert having a good day and Eckler having the good day, not Keenan Allen. So if Herbert and Eckler can, if it's a Herbert Keenan Allen day, it's going to be tough.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
need I need it to be a Herbert Eckler day.
seems to be always Keenan day. And I don't
Yeah.
know, Eckler, he just doesn't seem right now. I don't know.
Yeah. I agree with you though. I agree with you. Just to round it up, move on. I think Kyle does have the slight edge.
Yeah.
There's some tough matchups, but overall, I like the chances.
Yeah.
The running backs are not the best matchups. Jonathan Taylor and Javonte going up against Tampa Bay and Cleveland, but I think he should have enough firepower. Um, we'll see. We'll see how the game scripts for those
Yeah.
big games are. Dave and Eli. Eli's the slight favorite. Yep, he slid Derek Carr in there. So we'll see, man. We'll see how Dave does without Mark Andrews for 1 week.
Yeah. For some reason it's not giving me a oh wait, hold on. Give me a second. Sorry. 1 second here. Apologies to the viewers.
No, that's good. I got it pulled up. We'll just
No, I
for
got it now. I
Yeah,
got it now.
Lamar going up against the Chargers, man. That's a nice one. I
Nice
think
matchup.
I like that matchup.
McCaffrey going up against anybody, especially on prime time, is a
Yeah.
good matchup.
So
Buffalo
that's two people that I have in favor for Dave.
yeah,
I still have Swift over Warren.
yeah. I think Tyler Lockett against San Fran, but San Fran hasn't been doing too great against opposing slot receiver.
No, right here I give the edge to
Not really a
Eli.
slot
I give
receiver.
the edge Tyler Lockett and Kirk over Amari and Odell. I give the slight edge to Eli. I give the tight end edge to Eli with Hawkinson.
I think this is going to be a really close game. Looking at it,
Yeah,
I'm going to go. I'm going to go.
it's going to be if
I'm going to
Eli
go
can get
Eli.
if
I'm going to
Eli
go
can get the production out of Tank and Jalen Waddle, I think Eli gets this one.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll see though, man. Division game that
giving Eli a slight advantage.
it's just scary. The point differential on Lamar to Derek Carr could be huge. And that Saints Falcons game could be 13-10.
Yeah.
So I don't like that for him or Bijan.
I love my Saints, but Desmond Ritter starting. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be an easy game for us. I'm just going
No,
to say.
it's not. It's not. So this one is I
I'm
don't
going to
think
Eli.
I'm going Eli, but I don't think it's
I think it's close. I think
I
it's
think it's
close.
closer than what it's saying it's gonna be.
I think it's close.
We got Ross going up against Mark. Uh, Opportunity for Mark to play spoiler. Ross can't afford to drop one at this point. If he wants to maybe still win the division, he's gotta handle business. And it's
Yeah,
just too much firepower for
I
Mark.
don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it.
I like the switch, saying I'm gonna pass on Sam Howell and Trevor Lawrence and putting Kyler in there. I like that.
Yeah, whatever.
We'll see how it plays out, but Roddy White's been great. ETN's been kind of down, but overall pretty good production out of him this season. Alvin should have a big day against Atlanta. Yeah, there's not much to, I mean, I just
I
think
don't see
Ross
it.
has
I
enough.
don't see it. I don't see it. Yeah.
Okay. This is a big one. Little Matt against Al. Um, huge, um, huge favorite. Little Matt's favorited by almost 20 points.
Yeah. Yeah. Little Matt.
I mean, the running backs are kind of question mark on Little Matt's side. Uh, but I think Kenneth Walker's out. That's why Charbonnet's slotted so many points.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is Kyron's first game back, which is always kind of iffy with Sean McVay.
Yeah.
So, but I mean,
Yeah.
as long as he can get those big days from Jamar, Amon Ra, and Ayuk or Devontae Smith, it's
Yeah.
I don't know if Al's gonna have enough, man. Unless this is the week Derrick Henry and Tony Pollard pop.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
They're
Amon
going
Ra's
up
been,
against Carolina and Washington.
yeah, Amon Ra's been just fucking balling. So, that's yeah. I don't know. I got to give the slight advantage to little Matt here.
Yeah. So one thing that's kind of weird, I don't really like it. I'm not a big fan of Thursday games for fantasy.
Well, it is
Uh,
Thanksgiving, so I
it's
don't know.
Thanksgiving, so it's a little different, but almost half of Little Matt's team plays on Thursday.
Yeah, no, I don't like that either. I wouldn't want all of my players playing on Thursday. That's just
Yeah.
me.
So we'll see how that plays out. I'm giving Little Matt the slight edge. I think he's going to be able to handle business. I don't think Purdy has that big of a day as last week, but
Yeah.
should still be enough. Matt and Brian. See if Brian could play spoiler, man.
Yeah. Um,
Whew. Brian's got 5 rookies in his starting lineup.
yeah.
That's bold.
Hurts at home at Buffalo. Dak against Washington. You know, that's a plus matchup. Saquon against New England. Saquon's been balling, but New England takes out the best players, so I could see him having an off game.
Yep.
Gibbs, um,
Dude, like great production recently.
yeah, yeah. Tyree against the Jets. I mean, I think Tyreek's pretty much matchup proof at this point, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think running backs are somewhat even. Matt does have Tyler Boyd in the lineup against Pittsburgh. I think that'll be a low scoring game. Quentin Johnson can't catch. Tight ends, what and what. Najee and Isaiah. Najee going against Cincy's a little troublesome. Isaiah looked great last week. He's going against Las Vegas. I think that's a good matchup for him. Um, yeah, this could be a close game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give Matt the slight edge.
Yeah,
I don't 5 rookies is a little too much for me. They're too volatile.
yeah,
To have all 5 of them hit, it's unlikely, in my opinion.
yeah. That's gonna be tough. Gonna be tough. but we'll
And
see.
last but not least, we got the Vincent and Devin matchup we were talking about.
Yep. Um. Uh.
Mahomes, the divisional game in Vegas. I don't think he'll have a huge fantasy day.
Yeah. Well, divisional game at Minnesota for Fields. Not liking that.
And it's Monday night, so it's a little bit more pressure.
Yeah.
Maybe he takes off a little bit more.
Yeah.
Mixon's been great for you, man.
Yeah, he has. I don't think well, I won't give up my lineup, but there may be a change at RB2. You never know. I'm not sure. I think
Maybe.
AJ Brown has a big bounce back game this week. I think he has a big bounce back game this week. Devontae Adams going against Kansas City worries me.
Yeah,
But
they shut down AJ last
Puka,
week.
Puka going against Arizona, maybe no cup. I
Yeah,
think I
that I
think
mean,
I think that could win it for me.
yeah, not that Cup's had a good fantasy year, but um,
When he has been
Puka's
out
Nakua's production was definitely more without him.
In Arizona is just, you know, yeah. I'm gonna give myself the slight advantage here. Hopefully that doesn't bite me in the ass, but I'm coming for you, Vince.
Whew. Vincent's going with the double tight end and Kelsey Laporta. He's rolling with Gabe Davis again.
Yeah,
He's going with Kareem Hunt and Zeke at the running back position without Aaron Jones.
yeah.
No Michael Thomas. I mean, on paper, man, it's probably one of the easiest ones on paper. Anything can happen, but I got to give you the edge, man.
Yeah. I'm giving myself the edge for now.
All right, so let's look at what that does. So that's going to move you to 5-7.
Okay.
That'll move Vincent to 5-7. You'll jump him on points.
Thanks, right?
Matt winning against Brian would send him to 9-3, and then Brian would move to 2-10.
Yeah, he's Brian's out of it, man.
Yeah, so that moves Matt to 9-3. Um, Little Matt beating Al moves him to 8-4, and sends Al to 5-7.
Really need that to happen.
That's where he'll be tied with you and who else?
Uh,
You and
yeah.
Vincent.
And I think I'm at if you know, depending on how many points me and Al score, I guess I'd have the advantages of now, but
Yeah.
you never know what happens with points, so we'll see.
A Ross win would send him to 8-4, where he'll be tied with Little Matt, and whoever has more points. Little Matt has the edge right now, so we'll see how that plays out. But that would send Ross to 8-4. I think we said Eli over Dave, and that would send Eli to 5-7, which would create a four-way tie
Right in the mix, right in the
right in the
fucking
mix. Actually, it would create a four-way tie. It would send Dave to 6-6. He'll still have a game ahead of y'all, but that'll put the pressure on for week 13.
Yeah.
And then next one we had Kyle right now over Serge, so that would send Kyle to 10-2, and Serge would go to 8-4, and he'll be tied with Little Matt and Ross at 8-4. So as you can see, a lot can change this
A
week.
lot can change.
A lot will change, honestly. I mean, it might be different, but it's going to be a lot of people tied up, I think, after this week.
Yep. And it's a long week. We got a lot of games on Thursday. We got a Black Friday game on Friday. Still got Sunday, and we still got Monday. So it's going to be a long week. A lot of people, you know, will have a lot of points, a little bit of points on Thursday.
Yep. It's going to be scattered. It's going to be scattered more than usual.
Yep. A lot of people are going to be having a little, you know, having a little mini heart attack for a good 4 or 5 days. So
Yep.
We'll
So
see how it plays out.
we'll see how it plays out, man. But as of now, that's what the standings are. So, all right, bro.
Well,
It's been a
covered a lot. We covered a
great
lot.
conversation. Yeah, we talked about the future a little bit. We talked about the present.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll try to be on every week moving forward because every week matters at this point. So
every week matters.
we'll try to find time for, hopefully we get our co-host, or I'm the co-host, so the co-host back
Yeah.
soon. And but look, for the league, we'll keep, pressing forward and at least trying to, at least us or somebody just getting a little podcast in and just figuring this all out. We're all figuring it out together at the same time, man. I don't,
Yep. Together, but alone at the same time. Um, it's been a great night, man. Gonna go ahead and watch the end of this basketball game.
Yep. I'm gonna go take some ibuprofen, drink a couple more claws, probably rip a couple more darts, and just hit that waiver
Claws,
wire, see what happens.
plural, multiple claws. All right, man. Well, enjoy them.
Yes, sir. Always
Later.
in good company, my friend. I'll
Yes,
see you
sir.
soon.
See ya.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
It's
If I don't
true.
talk to y'all by Thursday, eat a lot, sleep a lot, watch a lot of football, and most importantly,
Give
lose
thanks.
so I can win
Exactly.
and get in the playoffs.
All right, man. Good luck, everyone.
Yes, sir. Later.